Hi, this is Rosalind from A Little R&R, and today is day 18 of 20 Days of Thanksgiving over here over at the Little R&R Facebook page. And today I thought I would do a video because I have a lot that I want to say. I am very thankful for a lot of people today, and it's a lot easier to just watch a video, and it's a lot more interesting to watch a video than it is to write out this huge and long text that nobody's going to read. So just to say, I'm here in my kitchen today, my shoebox of a kitchen. Yes, I'm standing at one end and you can see the other end. That's my kitchen. And I'm here in my kitchen not because I'm trying to reenact a VeggieTales or something like that, but because this is where the best lighting is, because right now it is almost 9 o'clock at night, and I do this while my kids are in bed for obvious reasons. So what am I thankful for today? Well, today I am very thankful for all of the broad shoulders that I stand on as a writer and as a blogger, and that's what I want to share today. I first have to shout out my parents. Very first have to shout out my parents. My mother is the one who instilled in me good grammar, and she nailed that into me in homeschooling. It was a daily diagramming of sentences and parts of speech and parts of sentences, and I hated it at the time, but I have to say God always knows best, and only he could see down the road how that would play out in my life. And not only obviously, you know, with writing, because grammar is so important in writing, it's essential in writing, but also in learning a second language. There's no way that I would have ever been able to learn the Croatian language and to be able to speak the Croatian language fluently if it were not for the foundation that I had in grammar. I have to shout out my dad, because my dad is such a great storyteller. I mean, he's a master storyteller. If you have never had the opportunity to sit in on one of his sermons, you do not know what you are missing. He just has perfected the fine craft of being able to tell a story around a familiar character, someone like David out of the Bible, or Paul, and not reveal who that character is, and he pulls you into the story until you are just intimately a part of that story, and then he just very in such a unique way reveals who that character is, and I have learned that from him. Obviously I have not perfected it to the point that he has, but it was one of the early forms of writing that I learned from him. I also need to shout out some very important bloggers, because those of you who don't understand blogging, who don't understand the amount of work that goes into blogging, we're talking hours and hours and hours of work that goes into blogging. It's not as simple as just writing something and posting it on the internet. There's so much back-end work that goes into it, so much technical work that goes into maintaining a website, so much networking that goes into it, because you know, if you're wanting to reach an audience, there's so much networking that you have to do, and connecting with other well-known people that in the blogosphere, and people that know more, and so, you know, and the obvious social media, and that all takes a lot of time. It also takes a lot of understanding how social media works, and how marketing works in social media, and there's just so much back end that goes into it. And so all of this I have not learned on my own, and it's not even possible that I could ever learn all of this on my own. There's no way that there's not enough Googling in the world that could ever help me to learn what I need to know about blogging and to reach the audience that I have been privileged to reach. And so I have to shout out the people that have been there for me, that have encouraged me, that have inspired me, that have taught me. So number one, Courtney at Women Living Well. I know that's an obvious one. Anybody that has followed me for, you know, any length of time at all, you know how much I'm always talking about Courtney at Women Living Well, and there's a reason for that. It's because I found Courtney's blog when I very first started blogging. She's the very first blogger that I began to follow. I also had the privilege of being among the first Good Morning Girls in the first Good Morning Girls study, and so she has played an enormous role in my life as a blogger, as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, as a writer, you know, as a woman who is ministering from her home. I mean, in all of these areas, she has really encouraged and inspired me, and to be able to connect with her on a personal basis has been one of the greatest honors ever. I also need to shout out Darlene over at Time Warp Wife. Again, a blogger that I found early on in my blogging, and someone who has inspired me as a wife, as a mother, as a woman, as a writer. And again, to be able to connect with her has just been an incredible honor. I also need to shout out Laura over at Missional Women. I mean, this is the first blog that, a large blog that took a chance on me and allowed me to be able to write for them on a consistent basis. And because of Missional Women, incredible doors of opportunity have been opened to me, and I just cannot thank them enough for taking a chance on me, a small blogger, small-time blogger with a very small audience, and giving me the opportunity to be able to write for them. This has been an incredible honor. 2014 has been the most incredible year to date of blogging, and the doors of opportunity that have opened to me have just literally blown me away. I mean, completely blown me away, and it has to, and it's not me, and I know that. I mean, I acknowledge that, because I'm not that good of a writer to be able to say I did this all on my own. Not a chance. Not a chance in the world. This has all happened because of other people who have opened the door for me and given me opportunities that I would not have otherwise had. I have to say, I need to shout out some of my blogging besties, because obviously I couldn't do a video like this without saying hey to my blogging besties. That would be obviously Bridget over at Becoming a Godly Wife, Mandy over at Missional Living, and Misty over at Beautiful Ashes. These women, I can't even get through a day without saying hi to them, without chattering with them, and they have been such an incredible blessing in my life. It has been an honor to get to know these three women and to be able to call them my blogging besties, honestly. I mean, these are three incredible women that have just been an encouragement and such a blessing to my life. And to be able to partner with them with Good Morning Girls has just, brought that up a whole nother notch. So, and you need to check out their blogs. If you haven't, you'll always find them in my timeline. They're always there. And I need to shout out two incredible women. Well, first of all, I need to shout out Sunu over at Clothed Scarlet. If you have never been to Clothed Scarlet, you need to go. It is an incredible resource for bloggers. Sunu is always talking about nuts and bolts of blogging, social media, things that you need for your blog platform, and ways that you can earn money from home. I mean, she's an incredible, incredible resource. Missional Call would not even be Missional Call. Missional Call wouldn't even exist if it weren't for Sunu. And that is the truth of it. She is the one that very first inspired me to even consider doing something like this. And then she is the one that helped me to even launch it, to even get it off the ground, to even get it started. And to be really honest, given my personality, such as it is, I come up with an idea like that, and then all I ever do is I think about it, and then it just sort of fades into the sunset the longer I think about it. And with Sunu, she is a great coach. She is the one that kept dogging me. Come on, let's do it. Come on, get me that text. Get me this. Get me that. Honestly, if it wasn't for her, it would never have happened. As far as Missional Call goes, I also need to shout out my contributors. Honestly, to be really honest, I mean, Missional Call wouldn't be what it is without my contributors. They are so creative. They are such great writers. They are such great encouragers. And it would not be the resource that it is if it were not for them. There's no way I could ever write about the things that they write about. There is no way that I could ever research the topics that they write about. And there's no way that I could ever do it all on my own. And so these are great people, incredible writers, incredible bloggers that have made Missional Call so much more than I ever dreamed that it could ever be. And to close this lengthy video with, I need to shout out 3 other bloggers that have really been an encouragement to me as a writer, as a blogger, as a woman. And those 3 women are Judith over at Wholehearted Home. I have just had such a wonderful opportunity with connecting with her on a daily basis, and she has encouraged me so much as a wife, and as a mom. I also want to shout out Kate over at Teaching What is Good. I mean, what an example of a Titus 2 woman. I mean, seriously. I mean, all three of these women are. And then the final woman that I want to shout out, last but definitely not least, is Gail over at 1 Minute Bible Love Notes. And she is also another blogger that I connected with fairly early on. And I think she was one of the very first blog hops that I did as well. And her writing is just wow. I mean, she can pack so much in such a short article, and I have learned so much from her in writing how to say what I want to say succinctly, pack a powerful statement in a few words. I mean, she is the master at that, absolute master at that. And not only that, her writing is very biblically sound. And I can't say that I've ever disagreed with anything that she's written about theologically, biblically. And yet, she's such an encouragement to me. I mean, as a missionary, as a writer, as a woman, just been such an encouragement to me. And I have just really enjoyed connecting with all three of these women on a personal basis. And so I just have to say, thank you to these people. Like I said, I did not get here on my own. I mean, not that I feel like I have arrived, because I haven't. I mean, I'm still a fairly small-time blogger. But you know, the Lord has opened up incredible doors for me in 2014, and those doors did not happen because of me. None of that happened because of me. It all happened because of people that have come alongside of me, that have encouraged me, that have inspired me. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your inspiration. Thank you for taking precious time out of your day to teach me, to train me, and to guide me, and to encourage me. And so I just want to say thank you. Thank you to these wonderful, wonderful people.